If someone was like, okay, I'm going to do all of these things, how long can it take? Like, is it something that's going to take us 10 years to build authority, or can we start to build authority in as little as 2 to 3 months, as you're saying there?
So, like the entire roadmap that you just saw is what I implement with my clients in 12 months. So, my AI Authority Accelerator is basically a 12-month program where we start out with LinkedIn and then we introduce everything else step by step. What is important to understand is that you build something over time, right? AI does not suddenly discover you, it really sees you over time. And everything, like at the beginning, it can feel slow because you build and you don't see something, but just know that everything that you put out there with that system builds and compounds over time. And if you publish 2 articles per week, that's like more than 100 a year. And then you update everything that you have. And then if you speak on full podcasts a month, this is about 50 podcasts per year. If you get published in one publication per month, that's 12 per year. And everything that you build compounds and is being put together because you have the foundation, right? So you teach with your GEO, you teach Google and AI what you want to be known for. And then if you create everything that I just told you, it will compound over time.
Absolutely love that. Thank you. When you were saying update the blog posts, what do you mean by that?
So AI looks for the freshest content that there is. So the recent study says like when content is cited in AI, it is not older than 13 weeks. So what you should do is you should go and you should update your blog posts or refresh them so that there is a new date of like a new publishing date there so that AI can actually see this content is still relevant. Because if it's like 6 months or 12 months old, AI does not understand that this is still relevant. So this is why you need to update the content.
That is super interesting. Thank you. I had no idea about that.
And you
Next
also
question.
don't have to reinvent the wheel, right? So with social media, you have to continuously think about new posts and new things and new ideas and new concepts. And with that, you create a high quality content on your website and you go back there every 10 weeks, let's say, or every 12 weeks, and you go through all the posts and you update things or you just republish them so that the date is up to date.
Yeah, I love that. It sounds so simple, but you wouldn't think it would make that much of a difference. But now that you've said it, I'm like, yeah, that would make a huge difference. My next question as well, though, is where are we getting these blog posts from? Like, so say, for example, I have a podcast and I do half an hour episodes once a week. Can I just use that to become my blog post and publish that on my blog and in LinkedIn and Substack and all the places?
Yes, absolutely. So this is what you can do. Like an ideal workflow, if you have the time and the capacity or a team, is you can create a YouTube video because YouTube is the second most cited platform as well. You can create a YouTube video, and then you use for the YouTube video, you extract the MP3, and you have this as a podcast, and then you use the transcript of that, and you use AI to actually take the correct transcript and write a blog post for you, and then you publish the video and the blog post on your website. This would be the ideal workflow. I only have a blog. I don't have a YouTube channel yet. If you do have, then you can totally set up this workflow. If you only have a podcast with like no video, then you can obviously use the MP3 and like get the transcript and then use the transcript to feed AI and ask AI to write a blog post for your website.
I love this. Thank you so much. What about things like, so say, for example, if I'm publishing the exact same blog post, can it be the exact same blog post on my website, my LinkedIn, somewhere like Substack? Can I repurpose all of that with virtually the same amount of words, use that same thing to go onto Facebook? Or do I need to tweak the words a little bit for each different place?
It can be the same. So what I would usually start with is publish it on the website and then wait for 3, 4 days so that Google can actually recognize this as the first place where it was published. And then I would go on and I would use it for LinkedIn and all the other places, Substack. And I do this, it's still my habit because with SEO, you had to make sure that the original source was being recognized by Google. And this is why I still do that. First, publish it on the website and then wait for 3, 4 days and then publish it on all the other places.
Yep, that's super interesting as well. Thank you. Because, yeah, like these are things we don't even know normally as content creators. And we're just like posting on Instagram, and you're like, set the foundation, guys, set the foundation. So, love this. If someone was starting from scratch, I'm feeling like what you're saying is two blog posts a week is the minimum, followed by one interview a week on a podcast, followed by one publication a month. Is that kind of like the bare minimum to get this sort of moving?
No, this is enough to get it moving fast. You can also be on one publication like every other month or every 3 months. Like it's important that the most important thing is that you understand the concept and that you set up processes for you so that you implement this on a regular basis, because it's about consistency. Like it's with social media, you have to post consistent that people can see you every single day just to see the content disappearing again. And with that, you need to have a system. Like for me, every Tuesday I do the pitching, right? So I do the pitching, I do the follow up, the outreach, and the writing and everything. And if you set this up and you really understand that this is CEO work, right? So this is not assistant work. This is not something that you can outsource it to your team in house. I would never outsource it to an agency. Like never. First of all, they ask an arm and a leg investment wise. Secondly, not all of them, but most of them are not worth it. So you need to understand that this work is actually CEO work and work that needs to be done by you or be sent by you. If you have an assistant, then you need to look at what is created and what is published to make sure this is actually what you want to be seen online.
I love this. Thank you. And also, as well, when it comes to like if someone's brand new, how are they finding these podcasts that they're pitching to? Are you using an AI tool to do that? Are you doing manual research? And how many are you even applying to a week to get onto, say, one a week, like for a month sort of thing?
Yeah, so I use different strategies, but there is a great search engine for podcasts that you can use, which is called Listen Notes. There you can find a lot of shows, like it's basically a podcast search engine. And then there are also tools like Podmatch where you can sign up for, where you get matches. This is more like a beginner strategy so that then you don't have to proactively find and pitch them, but then you set up a profile and then you're going to be matched and then you still have to pitch them, but it's a little bit more reactive, whereas pitching podcasts is proactive, right? Where you create your list and you come up with speaking topics and you write your professional pitch and all those things. What was the second part of the question? Oh, how many podcasts do you have to pitch to speak on for per month? That depends. Like that really depends. I typically pitch 40 podcasts per month, so 10 per week, which is super fairly quick if you understand the system and how to set this up and how to make this work. It can also be that you need to pitch 80 podcasts, right? But that really depends on multiple factors, like how good of a fit is the podcast shows, how great are your speaking topics? Do you actually show that you want to offer value? How good is your pitch? How good is your subject line? Like those are a lot of things that you need to take into consideration. I always say like pitch 10 podcast shows per month, which is 10 podcasts per week, which is 40 per month, which is almost 500 per year. And you do speak on podcasts a lot.
If you want to watch the entire episode, click here. And if you want to watch more episodes like this, click here.